The relentless pursuit of a lifelong career, only to potentially die broke. It sounds paradoxical, right? Yet, for most, it's the grim reality. They are trapped in a belief system equating hard work with wealth, time with money. But what if I told you that grinding yourself to the bone doesn't guarantee riches, and in fact, keeps you chained to financial mediocrity? Sounds crazy? It did to me too, at first. Most people are unknowingly ensnared in a subtle system that dictates their income from childhood. Formal education never equips you to navigate finances, understand their intricacies, master wealth creation. Instead, it conditions you to obey, submit, and accept a fixed salary as your ultimate ceiling. The most alarming part? You're likely oblivious to this programming. Ever questioned why you earn precisely what you earn? It's not accidental. Your monthly paycheck is directly tied to your self-perceived worth, a financial thermostat set to a specific temperature, constantly pulling you back to that predetermined level, regardless of your efforts. Tried starting a business, hustling side gigs, even juggling a second job, only to find yourself back at square one, like an invisible rubber band snapping you back to your income comfort zone. You're not alone. It's all a reflection of your deeply ingrained self-image, a limiting belief likely shaped by parents, teachers, bosses, friends, all leaving indelible imprints on your subconscious, restricting you within invisible boundaries. You settle for less because you've been conditioned to believe demanding more is wrong, greedy, unattainable. But it isn't. Stanford research proves that limiting beliefs about money directly impact financial decisions and opportunities. People who believe in scarcity avoid risks, reject opportunities, and subconsciously sabotage their earnings, literally pushing money away, even while craving more, completely unaware of their self-sabotaging behavior. The irony? When I was making $4,000 a year, I blamed my job. I changed jobs. Then I blamed my boss. I changed bosses. Until one day, I collapsed on the street, utterly exhausted from relentless overwork, a cop looming over me, flashing lights, terrified faces blurring around me. That was one of the most vulnerable and liberating moments of my life. I realized the problem wasn't my job, it was me. My mindset, my self-image, my self-imposed limitations. That's when I embarked on an obsessive study of the mind and its influence on financial reality. I discovered our results are mere reflections of our mental models. Change the model, and the results inevitably shift. How often have you dismissed an opportunity with, "That's not for me," or instantly discounted a desire as too expensive, too risky, beyond your reach? That's not truth, it's your internal system talking. What if you could rewrite that system, reprogram your internal settings, and embrace a new paradigm of abundance? That's the key. Your background, education, even lack thereof is irrelevant. I barely finished 2 months of high school. Yet, after a mental transformation, after believing I deserved more, everything changed. My first year after that shift yielded over $100, 000. Incredibly, I didn't even grasp what had changed until later, realizing the core was altering my belief in what I could achieve. So, right now, ask yourself honestly, what's my perceived monthly worth? Write it down. Then write down how much you want to earn. Compare them. A significant gap signals a misalignment between your mindset and your desired income level. This discrepancy will keep you spinning your wheels. The good news? It's changeable. Start reprogramming your mind today. It begins with self-awareness. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. For the next 3 days, consciously counter every limiting financial thought. Say aloud, firmly, repeatedly, "That's old programming. I choose a new pattern of prosperity." This simple practice will create mental space, and in that space, transformation begins. Notice how some people seem to attract money effortlessly, while others struggle to make ends meet. It's not luck, coincidence, or simply working harder. The secret lies in a simple mental shift, breaking free from single income dependence. This completely transformed my life. Most people are trapped in the time for money trade, a fixed salary, a single job, a singular path. That's the problem. When that single stream dries up, through crisis, layoff, or unforeseen circumstances, the whole structure collapses. It's like building a castle on one leg. No matter how ornate, it will fall. Imagine having 2, 3, 5 income streams. If one fails, money still flows. This empowers you with choices, time freedom, emotional security, shifting you from survival mode to creation mode. I learned this firsthand. I started with cleaning services, a bucket, a used polisher, and sheer grit. My first contract was a mere $15 a month, but I treated it like $1 million. Then came another and another until I had a network of clients spanning cities: Toronto, Montreal, Boston, London, Atlanta, many places I'd never even visited, but the money kept coming. I was sleeping and still earning. Not magic, but the result of creating systems that functioned independently. What I did once, structuring a service, training a team, creating a process, continued generating returns. That was the turning point. It wasn't about working more, it was about working smarter. Planting seeds that kept bearing fruit. When you grasp this, everything changes. You see opportunities everywhere. Hobbies morph into online stores, knowledge into courses, skills into consultancies, contacts into partnerships. Before you know it, you're no longer reliant on a single income stream. You've created an income ecosystem. Yes, some streams will fail, some won't yield expected returns. That's okay. Not every venture needs success, but they all share a common goal, flowing into your pocket, some large, some small, some fast, some slow, but all adding up. You might think, but I don't have money to start anything. Neither did I. I started with $1,000 borrowed dollars, with poor literacy, no formal education, no business experience. What did I have? Decision. Willpower. A goal. And most importantly, I didn't let the how stop me. The how emerges after you decide, truly decide. Your focus shifts, your brain starts identifying previously invisible pathways, attracting people, ideas, and situations connecting you with real opportunities. The internet makes creating income streams easier than ever. Sell a product you don't own and earn commission. Share knowledge on YouTube or Instagram and turn views into revenue. Create something once, an ebook, a course, digital art, and sell it hundreds, thousands of times. That's scale. If this sounds too good to be true, I understand. I doubted it too. I saw others earning while sleeping and thought, that's not for me, until I got tired of thinking that way and decided to test it. That's all, test it. And the result? Well, here I am. And the best part? You don't need to quit your job. Maintain your primary source while building others around it, slowly, one at a time. A small side hustle easing your end-of-month stress, then another, and another. Soon, the old dependence on a single salary fades into the past. Life transforms when money flows from multiple directions, bringing peace, freedom, and creativity. You think differently, live differently, realizing it wasn't luck, but decision. If you're still reading, I have an invitation. Get a piece of paper. Now. Write down 3 simple ideas for creating an income stream independent of your direct time. Don't overthink it, just get them down. Do it for yourself, because this simple exercise might be the start of a whole new life. There's a law governing money, not the one banks or governments enforce, but a universal, invisible, immutable law mostly ignored, the law of compensation. Discovering this law made everything click, the highs, lows, gains, losses, the success of some and the failure of many. It wasn't luck, ever. Just cause and effect. The law of compensation states that the value you receive is directly linked to 3 factors: the need for what you do, your skill in doing it, and the difficulty of replacing you. It sounds simple, and it is, but few apply it. Reflect, is there a real need for what you do? Is there demand? Are people willing to pay for it? If what you offer doesn't solve, improve, or transform anything, it lacks market value, and without value, there's no exchange. Find a deep pain point, a common problem, something many want to solve, you've struck gold. Most people don't think this way. They choose a profession, trade, an activity without asking, is there a real need for this? Then comes skill. Demand isn't enough, you need excellence. Be so good people remember, recommend, and choose you above others. The law of compensation doesn't reward mediocrity, it rewards exceptionality. Being excellent doesn't mean being the world's best, just better than average, committed to learning, practicing, failing, adjusting, and evolving, one step at a time, consistently. Finally, the difficulty of replacing you. This might be the most powerful factor. We live in a world of automation, replication, and generics. Being irreplaceable isn't ego, it's positioning. It's infusing your identity, essence, and vision into your work. This makes you unique. You might teach the same content as thousands, but your unique style, voice, story, and passion make you inimitable, rare. And rarity is valuable. When I started in personal development, I wasn't the only one talking about mindset, paradigms, and prosperity. But I poured my heart into it. I studied obsessively, waking before sunrise and sleeping after midnight, reading, writing, testing, teaching, applying and sharing what worked. Over time, people recognized me because I wasn't just a speaker, I lived what I taught. That made all the difference. The law of compensation doesn't reward shortcuts, it rewards the value you deliver to the world. The more value you deliver, the more abundance you receive. Look around, those who earn more usually deliver more solutions, clarity, and results, even if the effort seems similar. Effort alone doesn't generate income, impact does. Utility. Transformation. It's not just flowery rhetoric, it's physics, energetic exchange, the natural movement of the universe. You plant, you harvest. You serve, you are served. What you offer returns multiplied. Offer nothing, or little, or grudgingly, and the return is meager, compensation is low. Harvard Business Review research shows the highest earners aren't necessarily the most experienced or degreed, but those who created the greatest perceived value around their work. Knowing isn't enough, you must communicate, show, and deliver in a way that others perceive value. Value isn't just in what you do, but how you present it, the experience you create, and the trust you convey. Don't wait a decade to apply this, start now. Ask yourself, does what I do have real value? Am I delivering it optimally? Am I becoming irreplaceable? These questions are uncomfortable, but they open doors. Many fear standing out, criticism, rejection, so they choose the safe path, blending in, doing what everyone else does, then complaining about earning what everyone else earns. Life doesn't reward those who hide, it rewards those who play the game, who dare, who choose exceptionality. If you're listening, you might realize it's time for change, to stop settling for mediocrity, for a limited income as your final destination. You can do more, much more, but you must start acting like someone who deserves more, positioning, empowering, and committing yourself. Remember, the money you receive reflects the value you offer. No magic, no secrets, just internal work. Tend to the cause, and the effect will follow, always. The law of compensation never fails, it just waits for you to take it seriously. Ever notice that those who work hardest often earn least? It feels unjust. You see someone waking early, taking 2 buses, standing all day, barely making ends meet at month's end, while others seem to effortlessly amass wealth. The difference isn't how much they work, but how they think. Believing working more equals earning more traps you in a modern societal snare, the idea that time is your only currency. Time is your scarcest asset, it's irreplaceable and non-duplicable. But there's a way to multiply earnings without direct time dependence, by abandoning the majority's mental model. There are 3 basic ways to make money. M1. Trading time for money, the path 96% of the population follows. Work, get paid, don't work, don't get paid. Even working more, there's a ceiling because time is limited, and your body will rebel. I tried this path, believing more cleaning meant more money, working so intensely I collapsed on the street. Waking to a cop, sirens, and onlookers, my body gave out before my mind. This taught me what no school ever would: physical effort has limits. Rely solely on it, and you'll pay dearly, with health, time, life. M2, making money work for you, investing. This requires capital and knowledge. Many try unprepared and lose everything, declaring, it doesn't work. It does, but not for the desperate and uninformed. It's valid, but not the most powerful. M3, creating multiple autonomous income streams. This is transformative. You're no longer a wage slave, you're an abundance strategist. You plant assets, create systems, build mechanisms functioning even while you rest. This isn't theory, it's reality, what the wealthiest 3% do. Whether selling products, services, ideas, or experiences, they create mechanisms generating value at scale, without exclusive time dependence. Maybe you have only your job. Great. Start with one stream. Something you know, people ask you for help with, something you do unpaid. This is a good start. Replicate it, a simple course, mentorship, consultancy, handmade product, online service. Technology unlocks endless possibilities. Even if it yields only $100 the first month, it proves you can, cracking the old mental model, understanding that you can earn without trading time for money. This is liberating, you're no longer trapped, you're creating. Activating this model changes you internally. You think differently, see opportunities where you once saw obstacles, track connections, ideas, and partners. The world opens because you're in the flow of creation. The Global Entrepreneurship Monitor shows Brazil has a high rate of necessity-driven entrepreneurship, people starting businesses to survive, not strategically. Real change happens when you shift from desperation to conscious decision, choosing to create income streams for freedom, not to fight fires. Feeling stuck? Think J.K. Rowling, a single mom surviving on government assistance, crafting the first Harry Potter book in cafes because she couldn't afford to heat her home. Now, she rakes in global royalties daily, all from a single, brilliant idea. It's an extreme example, but not an impossible one. The core principle? Create something that generates ongoing value, even when you're not actively working on it. So, ask yourself, how much more of your life are you willing to trade for a steady paycheck, a false sense of security, an outdated system? Sometimes, the biggest risk is sticking with the status quo. The real danger lies in relying on a single income stream, a single shot at success. True freedom isn't quitting your job, it's having the choice to. If you feel the urge for change, start small, but start. Pick an idea, develop it, test it, fail, refine. It's not about getting it right the first time, but gradually building a life independent of endless physical toil, a life built on financial intelligence, emotional balance, and genuine purpose. Wealth isn't just about money, it's about the freedom to choose. It all begins with a decision, something most people severely underestimate. They think they need money, time, connections, luck. But the crucial ingredient is a crystal clear, unwavering decision. Only after that decision does the path materialize, before it, everything is hazy, uncertain. You don't need a detailed roadmap, just the unwavering commitment to take the journey. That's the turning point. Stop trying, and start committing. Trying lets you quit with any excuse, commitment pushes you through even the toughest challenges. Decision breeds commitment, which fosters discipline, leading to results. When I decided to change my life, I knew nothing about business, barely knew how to write, was a college dropout, and came from a background with limited prospects. But I made a decision that changed everything. I didn't know how, but I knew I'd make it happen, and that was enough. Many wait for the perfect moment, for unshakable confidence before taking action, but it works the other way around, confidence comes asterisk after asterisk you act. While you wait for certainty, life and opportunities slip away, irretrievably. How many brilliant ideas have died for lack of a decision? How many projects remain unfinished because someone waited to understand everything first? The illusion of needing to be perfectly prepared persists, but no one is ever truly ready, and no one ever will be. The truth is, those who succeed often act despite fear, insecurity, and apprehension. Those who wait for 100% certainty never take action at all. I remember talking to a young man seeking financial advice. He had tons of promising ideas, none of them implemented. When I asked why, he said, "I don't know which is the best one yet." My response: you don't need the best idea, you need a decision star. Indecision breeds chaos, choosing a direction clarifies everything, and the universe seems to conspire in favor of those who dare to move. Studies on focus and attention show our brains filter and identify opportunities based on the clarity of our intentions. Decision makes your brain work for you, eliminating self-sabotage, excuses, and finding solutions. Decision isn't just thought, it's action, doing what's necessary even when you don't feel like it, waking up early, rejecting distractions, ignoring naysayers, repeating what works, persisting despite setbacks, moving forward even without a cheering section. Maybe you're waiting for a sign. Here it is. If you're even listening to this, it's your sign. Something inside you craves more, knows you're capable of more, feels you were born for something beyond mere survival. That feeling is a calling, but to make it a reality, you need to act, take responsibility, decide. When you decide, everything changes, not instantly, but it changes. Your energy, your posture, your words, and the world reacts, opening doors where there were only walls before. Have you decided how you want to live? How much you want to earn? What are you willing to do to get it? Write it down now, in detail. Don't worry about costs or possibilities, just write down the life you want, and read it aloud daily, with feeling, with conviction, as if it were already real. This habit will shape your mind, your actions, and your results. I challenge you, over the next 7 days, choose one delayed decision, something you need to do, start a project, ask for help, make a phone call, begin a course, organize your finances, and do it. One action a day, one decision followed by action. Watch how everything responds. The universe rewards commitment, not indecision. You don't need guarantees, you need a firm choice. Make that choice, and the world will conspire in your favor, because everything changes when you change, and it all starts with a decision. Many live as if they have infinite time, yet complain about a lack of it. They want to change their lives, but are too busy to take the first step. They crave more money, but waste hours on unproductive tasks. A silent, insidious error traps people in mediocrity, not knowing how to use time as a strategic resource. Without understanding the value of time, you'll never understand the value of money. Time is irretrievable. You can lose money and regain it, lose your job and find another, but every minute that passes is gone forever. Once you grasp this, your relationship with life shifts, your choice of commitments, people, content, and decisions. You stop living on autopilot and start living with purpose. When I started my business, my biggest mistake was thinking doing everything myself was safer. I wanted to save money, so I invested my most precious resource, my time. I cleaned, served clients, handled paperwork, solved problems. This cost me energy, focus, health, and profit. I was too busy to grow, working so hard I couldn't think. I learned to delegate, otherwise, I'd have remained a perpetual bottleneck. I started measuring my time like an investor measures the return on investment. I asked myself, does this bring me closer to my goal, or is it just keeping me busy? That question changed everything because many confuse busyness with productivity. Being busy doesn't mean you're making progress. Sometimes it's a disguise to avoid difficult decisions, postpone important projects, and avoid the discomfort of change. A Stanford University study showed that people underestimate by over 50% the time they waste daily on distractions, social media, emails, notifications, pointless meetings. It all drains attention. Over a week, a month, a year, you realize a fortune in wasted time, time that could have transformed your life. What's an hour of your time worth? If your goal is to earn $15,000 a month working 160 hours, each hour is worth approximately $93.75. Would you spend $93.75 to scroll through social media for 40 minutes, respond to useless messages, watch videos that entertain but don't educate? Most people do this with their own time. Time is the soil where we plant future results. Wasting the soil makes harvesting impossible. One of the most important decisions is protecting your time as if it were gold, or better, more than gold, because gold can be saved, time slips away every second. To create new income streams, change your financial reality, and truly evolve, you'll need quality time to study, plan, build. This time doesn't appear out of thin air. You'll have to earn it. Let go of unproductive things, negative people, harmful habits, and routines that hold you back. It's not easy, but it's simple. I invite you, over the next 3 days, write down everything you do every hour, without filtering. At the end of the day, analyze honestly, what brings me closer to the life I want? If the answer is little, you know where to start. Change isn't about doing more, it's about doing less of what doesn't matter. You're not lacking time, you're lacking priorities. Change that, and you change everything. The time you seek is there, hidden in wrong choices. Use it wisely, and money will follow, because well-spent time always generates returns. You don't need to work more, you need to think differently. Financial transformation begins in the mind. By changing your perception of money, time, and your own worth, everything aligns. You don't need all the answers, you need to make the right choice, decide not to settle for less than you know you can be. If that decision resonates with you, you're ready for the next step. There's a new video on screen that will help you progress, better understand the path to freedom and prosperity. By watching attentively, you'll leave 1% better than you are now. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video.